Hello and welcome. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, a show where we get you answers for all your stock-related queries. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me is Cheryl D'Souza. And today onto the Buy Now, Sell Now lens, we're going to be focusing on metals as that sector is seen to be buzzing. So we'll try to decode what all happening in the metal sector and going ahead, should you bet on that particular sector or not? But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, despite a weak global cues, Indian markets are showing some bit of a resilience, but that's the Bank Nifty that is underperforming.
Yes, right. Good morning to you, Shrishti. If you look at the markets, they're trying to actually make a comeback. We also actually started the day on a very negative footing in line with what the global cues were indicating. But from there on, we are trying to actually break into the positive territory. Nifty is now approximately 110 points away from its record high levels. You had the broader markets that were performing well. You had mid-cap index that hit a record high level on an intraday trading basis. You also had small-cap index that is perched at a 52-week high level. So yes, the broader markets once again outperforming the benchmark indices in today's trading session. And like Shrishti mentioned, that you have the Nifty Bank that's actually underperforming the benchmark indices. Remember, yesterday also you had Nifty Bank that ended in the negative territory. Let's take a look at what the rest of the market is doing at this point in time. And remember that you had metal index that was outperforming over the last two odd trading session, but today a tad bit of subdued sentiment coming in for metal index. Nevertheless, they've recovered from the day's lowest point. We'll talk more into what is exactly happening in the metal space on our BNSN lens segment. But talking about the list of gainers, then is Divi's Laboratories as the top gainer on the Nifty, 2.6% uptick coming in for Divi's. You have Adani Enterprises, Apollo Hospitals, Dr. Reddy's, Maruti, all of them seeing good gains in today's trading session. You have Maruti Suzuki that's seeing gains of about 1.3% as we speak. Most of the technical analysts now have 10,000 rupee target on Maruti Suzuki, including Kunal Botra himself. But let's move on and let's talk about the list of losers then. You have IndusInd Bank, Infosys, HDFC Life, Wipro, all of them declining. Add to the list, you also have Power Grid that is on a weak footing in today's trading session. Let's break it down then and let's talk about the sectoral indices and what they're doing at this point in time. You have Pharma Index as the top gainer on the sectoral front. Remember, today you have a JP Morgan note that's come on the hospital space, where they have actually gone ahead and initiated coverage on the hospital space. So Apollo Hospitals, Fortis are the ones that they are overweight on. Talking about the auto sector, that's seeing gains of about 0.7%. Realty, FMCG, all of them gaining. But it's the IT sector that is under immense pressure in today's trading session, Shrishti.
Okay, so that's how the markets are panning out. But viewers, as you know, that we are celebrating our birthday week, and here's a chance for you where you can unlock a golden opportunity with us. On our 14th birthday, here's a gift for you where you can participate in ET Now's Force of 14 contest and stand a chance to win 14 gold vouchers. On our 14th birthday, all you have to do is to watch ET Now throughout the week and give us a missed call on 888-665-9273 and grab the golden chance.
And the third question for the day is, ET Now is the only Indian channel to interview which renowned investor at Omaha? And the options are Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, George Soros or Ray Dalio.
ET Now has turned 14 and the golden celebration is on us. Watch ET Now on 12th to 16th June during the market hours from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. All you need to do is just answer one question every hour. To participate, give a missed call on 888-665-9273 and answer the question. 14 winners will stand a chance to win gold vouchers. It's raining gold with ET Now. Rise with India.
Okay, but as we told you that today on the Buy Now, Sell Now lens, we're going to be focusing on the metal space. As yesterday, we have seen all these metal counters buzzing, and for today as well, a couple of them holding in the green. But what is happening in this particular space? Why are these counters buzzing? So the fundamentals is, and the news flow is, that China has actually slashed its short-term rates to 1.9% from 2%. And as you know, that the China is one of the leading players when it comes to metal. So any positive news from that particular country will definitely give a boost to all these metal counters. But what is ET Now's managing editor Nikunj Talmia Dalmia, and ET Now Swadesh managing editor as well, is having a view on the metal space and he's thinking onto the whole space. Let's try to deal with that and let's listen into what he has to say.
The basic fundamental factor here is that China and metal stocks, whether it's psychological or real, but in the short term, the correlation that Chinese demand will come back has always excited metal stocks. China has slashed short-term rates by 1.9% to about 2%, and this is the first rate cut since August 2022. So the metals is always a macro trade, and in that macro trade, if you throw in the whole China angle, metal stocks, they tend to outperform always because of that. B, international coal prices have come down, which again is a very big hurrah for metal prices. And C, metal prices are always dollar denominated, which means that if you look at the price realization, what some of the metal companies they enjoy, it's always dollar denominated. In fact, I think it was a couple of days ago, metal companies have also increased the prices. They've increased the prices for steel, which has been supplied to autos, and these are long-term contracts which have been renegotiated to the tune of about 3 to 5%. So that's one space which I think in the near term, I definitely see that there is going to be a lot of pent-up demand, so to speak. So that's one space which I think is on my radar.
All right, so that's the take coming in from ET Now, and ET Now Swadesh's managing editor Nikunj Dalmia on the metals pack. Remember that you have China that has gone ahead on a rate cutting spree. There is anticipation that come next week also they will go ahead and basically cut rates on the prime loan rates is what they are looking to cut next. Also, there are a lot of talks that China will go ahead with a stimulus in order to boost the economy. And we all know that the metal sector has been under pressure given the fact that China, a big consumer as well as producer, has not been having much of demand. So where does this leave the metal space as a whole? Do you think or should you go ahead and play this sector right now in anticipation of a big bounce? Or should you just look to hold on to whatever you have right now? Let's ask that question to our experts. We have Kunal Bothra as well as Ashish Kapoor joining us on the show. Very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Ashish. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Ashish, may I come to you first to ask how our metal sector placed fundamentally? There's a lot that is happening in China over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've seen them actually act upon the fact of reviving the economy. Today, you also had the news where Chinese ministry has held an urgent meeting with business leaders as well in order to prop the economy. How will, in shape of all of this, or in light of all of this, how do you think the metal sector will perform going ahead? Do you think that this is a single trigger needed for the metal sector to go ahead or to see a bounce going ahead?
So generally, it has been subdued compared to the market, the metal sector. So this could possibly be the trigger for it to kind of catch up with the rest of the market. So I think one can be bullish on at least for a very short term.
Okay, one can be bullish for a very short term. That's the take coming in. But when it comes to a short term, so Kunal, what are your charts suggesting? Because yesterday we have seen good moves coming in, and JSW Steel has been one of your top picks amongst the space. But other than that, what's your take on the whole metal space and any other counter that you like at this point in time?
So good morning. First of all, my belief is that every sector requires some sort of a push at certain point of time. I think for the metal stocks, this is the push which the sector sort of needed. Now what we have to sort of decide is that which is the stock within the metal pack which could act as a leader in terms of the price performance, and which are the ones which could probably try and play a catch up for themselves. So of course JSW Steel has been the first stock which is acting as a major leader. The stock at this point of time is very close towards its life high levels, trying to come closer to that 800 mark. At this point of time, most of the other metal names, Hindalco, Vedanta, Tata Steel, etc., they are still significantly below their all-time high level. So that itself tells you the kind of leadership the stock has shown. So I think it always makes sense to first establish your sector portfolio with leaders as getting the highest percentage in terms of your sector allocation, and then trying to add on to the underperformers or the tied to large cap teams, which could probably try and play a catch up. So I think in that respect, maybe Hindalco and Tata Steel could be good bets from a medium to long term play.
All right, so that's the take coming in from Kunal as well on the metal pack and also his top pick in that particular segment. But on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. But stay tuned. When we come back, we will start taking your queries. So viewers, don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. Remember that you can connect to us live. We are live on your TV screens, and you can write to us on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on the top of your screen. Do remember to mention your name, the stock you're looking to invest in. If you're already invested in the stock, mention the buy price, the quantity, and the time horizon. That will help our experts help you better. But with that, let me kickstart with the first query that I have. And this one is coming from Subramanian, writing to us from Chennai. And Kunal, two stocks. One is Taneja Aerospace. I'm unsure if you track that one, but the buy price is 146 rupees per share. The other one is Tata Coffee, bought at around 220 rupees per share. He wants to know what's the short-term target. This is from Subramanian from Chennai.
So I would recommend a hold on both of them. Taneja Aerospace, I don't track it regularly, but just looking at the charts purely, the stock I think is going through a major consolidation. I think 140-45 has been the higher band of the consolidation for the stock, and I think just closer to 100-105 is the lower end of the support for the stock. So it's a stock which is going through a multi-year of consolidation. Whenever the breakout happens, I would believe that the stock could probably catapult to levels of 200 approximately. So I think with that anticipation, I would suggest a hold for Taneja Aerospace, and even for Tata Coffee. I think we discussed this talk a couple of days back that it's coming out of a major consolidation. The volumes, the price patterns in the last 3-4 months have been very attractive. In fact, this month itself, the stock has gained some 8.5%, and it's the third consecutive month of positive price action. So the stock is gaining momentum. Would suggest a hold on Tata Coffee as well.
Okay, the next question, Ashish, is coming from Mayank, and he is holding shares of Lincoln Pharma, 2,000 shares at a price of 385. Wants to know your outlook on the same, and he's also highlighting that the promoter has been buying recently in huge quantities. So can he add more with a 2-year investment horizon? Ashish, this question is for you. Okay, Kunal, would you be able to advise him?
Can you repeat the name of the stock?
That's Lincoln Pharma, 2,000 shares at a price of 385.
Well, I would suggest to hold on to the stock. Now, there are two reasons for it. One is, of course, because the entire pharma sector, to me, looks very attractive. And I think the way the pharma sector is poised, I would expect this to be a possible multi-quarter, multi-year uptrend for the pharma index. So I think in that regards, most of the mid-cap pharma stocks could also make a good comeback. And the other way to look at it is that the stock is perched very close towards its 52-week high as well as the life high levels. So I think just recently the stock had went through a mild correction. It's come back towards the 50-day moving average, where it's trading right now at 390 levels. So it's a good point where you can look to hold on. And even if you're a medium-term investor, I would expect 450 as a target for Lincoln Pharma. And potentially, if you're a long-term investor, then the upside could be significantly higher.
All right. This next query I have is coming in from Dasarudi from Vijayawada, and he has about 5,500 shares of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank at a price of around 28.5 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should continue to hold on to it or look to book some partial profits. What's your take on this one, Ashish? Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, what sort of strategy should he adopt in this one?
Well, I think Ujjivan Group as such has really disappointed investors ever since its flagship company got listed in way back in 2015. There is a lot of promise being built on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, but I would like to avoid it for the moment. I think let's let more data come out, let us see more action happening, and let us see actual results happening on the ground before we start thinking of buying it. So for the moment, I would like to avoid buying anything into Ujjivan Small Finance Bank.
Okay, Kunal, the next question is from Satya Veni. He's a senior citizen and a huge fan of yours is what he's highlighting. He wants your outlook on two counters. Firstly is Ramke Infra as well as Zomato. How are these for the long-term investment, and any price where he should enter?
So Zomato, I think maybe closer to 67 approximately could be a good point to enter. I think that's a zone where the stock took resistance earlier. My sense is that in this round of mild correction, maybe 67 can act as a support. So closer you are towards 67, the better could be a risk reward to buy if you're a long-term investor. For Ramkey as well, I think at 369, 370 where it's trading right now, it's come back towards a major support, 50-day moving average, correcting I think from 405, 410 levels. So again, a 10% correction completed, the stock completes a mean reversion. So I think in that aspect, both the stock could be attractive. Zomato closer to 67 and Ramkey you can buy at current levels.
Okay, this one is coming from Suresh. He's writing to us from Chalakudi, from Kerala. And this one, he is coming to you, Kunal. 20 shares of HAL at a price of 35.60. He wants to know whether he should buy some more of this particular counter at this point in time. The other stock is Fact. He's already holding 100 shares at a price of 362 rupees per share. What should his strategy be for both of these counters, given the fact that Fact has hit a record high today?
Well, yeah, Fact you can continue to hold on, and because the stock has come out of a major correction consolidation. So I think 23 start, the high for the stock was 390. It fell to almost I think 210, and then from 210 the stock has come back towards 390 plus mark. So which means that it's completed a major correction. It's come back again quite strongly. Looks attractive as a chart. I would suggest a hold. But for HAL now, even though I'm bullish on the stock from a long-term play, HAL and BEL specifically, but I think at this point of time, if you ask me, I would go for a profit booking mode over here for HAL and then look to buy back on dips. I think these stocks have diverged themselves quite far away from their 200-day moving average. So there could be a mild correction consolidation which could lead the stock to come back towards their long-term averages at least. So buy on dips is what I would advise. But I think at current levels, booking profits on HCL could be a better strategy even if you're a short-term trader.
Okay, Ashish, the next question is from Bide from Mumbai, and he's holding shares of BF Utilities, 590 shares at a price of 420 rupees. Wants a medium-term outlook on the same because he's sitting at a loss. So do you believe that 420 is achievable on this one?
Yeah, certainly. I think the company has a lot of value in it. I think at some point of time, and in the markets, the market sentiment improving, I think the value will get realized. So 420 is, I think, easily achievable in this counter. So I think continue to hold on.
Okay, this one is coming from Madhavan from Coimbatore. Kunal, 129 shares of Venus Remedies at a price of 75 rupees per share. He's saying the stock has actually seen a substantial jump from those levels that he's bought, right? Currently around excess of about 200 odd points, 200 odd rupees is where Venus Remedies is trading. Wants to know whether he should go ahead and book profits or hold.
Well, you can continue to hold on as of now. I think that zone of 200 to 220, where there was a gap which was created for Venus Remedy, that should now act as a major support for the stock. So I would suggest that you can continue to hold on. Potentially with a time frame of 6 months approximately, you can look out for a target in the range of 275 to 280.
Okay, Kunal, the next question is once again for you. That's from Hemant, and he's holding 20 shares of Vijaya Diagnostics from a price of 402 and 20 shares of Expro India. I'm not sure whether you tracked this one, but his holding is from the price of 717. Wants to know the short-term outlook on both of these counters.
See, Expro India, I think the stock has risen up exceedingly high in the last 2-3 years. 2020, the stock was almost at 22 rupees and then it went up to 1125 and then corrected back towards 525, now back towards 860. So, which means that the gyrations are quite steep for the stock. I think it's better that you keep it into a trading or restrict this into a trading kind of a stock rather than looking at it from long-term play because of the steep run-up the stock has already seen in the last 3-4 years. But I think for Vijaya Diagnostics, you can continue to hold on. The stock is getting into a breakout mode. Maybe in this leg of a breakout, you can expect the stock to come back towards 475 to 480.
Okay, this one is coming in from Anjali from Nasik, and she's asking a query to you, Ashish. Force Motors purchased at around 3,000 rupees per share. What's the outlook for this particular counter? Does it merit for her to stay put in this one because it has fallen from those elevated levels that she purchased Force Motors?
Yeah, it has fallen and it has kind of remained subdued for a number of years now. But I think the company is doing very well, and the stock also is gaining traction in the very recent past. I would continue to hold on. I think because the way the auto sector is now shaping up with the very good performances coming from all the large OEM players and a lot of traction also seeing in the mid cap and the auto ancillary space. I think so. I think you could continue to hold on. It is a good company. The valuation had gone very high, kind of corrected for over the longer period. But I think the prospects are pretty good. And I think at some point of time, not in the too distant future, you should get your cost price back and make some profit also.
Okay, that's the view on Force Motors. But just having a look at the markets once again, they are seen to be drifting in the red. That's Nifty once again back in the red, and Bank Nifty is seen to be putting pressure down about 150 odd points. But with this viewers, it's time to slip into a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. But viewers, as you know that it is our birthday week, so you can unlock a golden opportunity with us on our 14th birthday. Here's a gift for you where you can participate in ET Now's Force of 14 contest and stand a chance to win 14 gold vouchers. On our 14th birthday, all you have to do is to watch ET Now throughout the week and give us a missed call on 888-665-9273 and grab the golden chance.
And here's the third question for the day. ET Now is the only Indian channel to interview which renowned investor at Omaha? Is it Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, George Soros, or Ray Dalio?
Okay, but with this viewers, let's once again get back to taking all your stock related queries onto the show. And the next question that I have is on one of the metal counters. And Ashish, let me take it from you. The question is from Supratim and he wants to know what's the outlook on Nalco? Is this a good stock to accumulate for long term?
Well, I think in the very near term, it should do well. Like I said, I think metal space has underperformed. So in the very near term, Nalco would do well. For the long term, I think there are many better ideas. I think long term, in my opinion, one should always stay away from cyclicals and metal stocks because they do not, in the long run, really go up. Especially stocks like Nalco. If you look at a kind of a 10-year or maybe a 15-year chart also, it would at best have been a range bound. I mean, it does go up and come back, and it remains broadly in a kind of a range, even for the run. So I think these stocks are best for trading. They have to be bought when chips are really down and sold when things look quite good. For the long term, I think there are many better ideas. So I would not suggest this for long term. It's good for a short term trading angle. Yes.
Okay, this one is coming in from Sushil Kumar from Trichy, and this one is for you, Kunal. He wants to know whether it's time to book profit in Power Grid. He already purchased this counter at around 221 rupees per share 6 months ago. He's saying that he's asking if not exited right now, then what sort of a target should he look at for Power Grid?
Yeah, I think you can consider booking out profits over here for Power Grid, but then if you're a regular trader as such, then I think maybe if the stock comes closer to 235, that's a zone where you can look to buy back. So I think Power Grid has been a stock which tends to remain into a range. Right now, it's come back to the higher point of the range, 245 approximately, and the lower point of the range is around 230 to 35. So closer to 235 is where you can look to buy Power Grid.
Okay, moving on, and the next question is from Raj Shekhar, and Ashish wants to know the view on AGI Green Pack. Can he buy this counter at current market price? His investment horizon is 1 to 2 years, and any target going ahead?
I don't have a specific target on this, but yes, the company has very promising fundamentals. It will take longish time to unfold. And of course, being in a new technology area, the risk would be there for any kind of obsolescence or any other further new technology developments which they may not be able to catch up with. So you buy only if you have a longish time horizon. I think 1 to 2 years looks too small a horizon for this kind of a stock. buy if you have a maybe 3 to 5 year time horizon and you are comfortable with the risk associated with any new technology stock, which is quite real. This is only for genuine long-term investors, at least 3 years, and with some appetite for risk, and in turn looking for fantastic returns if everything goes well. If you're a conservative investor or you are an investor with only 1 to 2 year time frame, then stay away from it.
Quickly take a note of the markets right now. We are at the day's lowest point. We have actually given up all of those morning gains. Right now, we are testing 18,700 odd levels or so. Kunal, this next query is for you. This one is from Anju, writing to us from Dubai, and she is asking about your two favorite stocks. One is AB Capital, the other one is IDFC First Bank. She wants to know whether she should invest in these counters right now or at what price.
Yeah, I think you can start buying at current levels. These stocks have run up exceedingly high, I think, in the last few days. So maybe buying at current levels and then adding at a 5%, 7% kind of a dip could be a strategy for both of these names. AB Capital, so for example, I think at 174, 75 where the stock is trading right now, you can start nibbling at current levels. The second tranche which you can look to buy could be closer to 165 in case if the stock dips to those levels. And for IDFC First Bank, I think now at 79, 80 levels, you can start buying at current levels, and maybe the next average you can do is closer to 75.
Okay, the next question is for you, Ashish, and the question is from Vishal, and he's from Dubai, and he wants to know that any of the companies in the green hydrogen space that you track at this point in time, he's highlighting that fundamentally there are strong companies, but there are just handful of companies. So any company that you track amongst the green hydrogen space?
No, immediately I can't think of any such company in the listed space which I have tracked lately, so I don't want to comment on anything.
All right, this next one that I have is coming in from Sabarjeet, writing to us from Punjab. He has 4,209 shares of DCB Bank. He's been holding it for the longest time at a price of around 64 rupees per share. Kunal, do you think that he should stay put with DCB Bank or look to switch his holding to another bank altogether?
I think you should consider holding on to the stock as of now, even though you've, I think, made substantial returns from your buy price. I would believe that there could be a significant upside for the stock. I think what started off in 2022 second half was maybe in an initial phase of a rally for these mid-cap banking names, both the PSU as well as the private sector banking stocks. And I believe that possibly in the second half of this year as well as going forward, you could probably expect a very similar kind of an uptrend. So I would be bullish on these mid-cap names and I would suggest a hold.
Okay, Kunal, the next question is from Venkat Rao from Visakhapatnam, and he's holding two counters and sitting at a loss. Firstly, it's LIC Housing, 400 shares at a price of 445 rupees, and the other counter is HDFC Life from a price of 730 rupees. So any advice to average any of these counters and any target for the same?
See, LIC Housing has been one of the very difficult counters, frankly, because the stock tends to go into a major price correction consolidation for months on a trot before there is any kind of a rally or a pickup of price action. But then I think that's the most difficult part to highlight. I would, if you ask me, I would suggest to exit LIC Housing, and there could be better names. You can look at L&T Housing Finance. I think maybe buy on dips because the stock has run up today more than 6-7%. But I think that's a stock which you can consider buying. Chola Finance has been the other stock which you can consider buying. So these are two better alternatives as compared to LIC Housing. In terms of the second stock, HDFC Life, I would believe that you should continue to hold on to the stock because I think most of the insurance stocks are making a good comeback from their 3-month swing lows. So give it more time. Potentially these stocks can stand to give you decent returns over the medium term.
Okay, sorry Kunal, but one more coming your way from Krishna. He wants to know about Asian Paints. He's bought 15 shares at a price of 3,397 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should sell now or book loss, or should he hope for a break even at least?
So I would suggest to have a trailing stop loss. Maybe 30 to 70 could be a trailing stop loss, just about 0.5% from current levels, because many of the indicators have started to show signs of slight negative crossover. So that could either mean that the stock may get into a correction, or it could mean that the stock may get into a time-wise correction or a consolidation, and that could probably be maybe another couple of weeks. So I think that's the only trigger for Asian Paints. I would suggest to hold on to the stock as of now, but then keep a trailing stop loss of 30 to 70.
Okay, Ashish, the next question is from Partha Sarthi, and he is holding shares of Bank of India, but his buying price is higher than the current market price at 86 rupees. Should he book loss in at this point in time for this one, or rather make a switch to any other name?
Well, I think for the very near term, he can hold on because I think perhaps the rally which is there in public sector banks would have some more steam left. Uh, but I think certainly these are not the stocks for very long-term holding. For the current, this thing I would say hold on, and because there's quite a likelihood that you will get at least close to your buying price, if not get the buying price itself. So for the time being, hold on, but use upsides to gradually shift out and put your money somewhere else. From the long-term, perspective, I think the stock which really quite looks quite good is HDFC Bank. For the last 3-4 years, it has underperformed, and there are concerns over the merger. But I think the merger process is almost complete. So I really think that this lull in this, in this bellwether stock is a great opportunity. So on upsides, move out of Bank of India and buy HDFC Bank would be my advice for long term.
All right, this one's another one coming your way, Ashish. This one is from Krishna Kumar, writing to us from Chennai. He has 100 shares of Wipro at a price of 425 rupees per share. He's a long-term investor, wants to know what to do with Wipro. We know that a lot of brokerages have turned pretty negative on the IT services segment as a whole, Wipro included in that. But what's your take? What should Krishna Kumar do with his holding that he already has in Wipro?
Well, I think Wipro, according to me, is a great opportunity for long-term investors. Certainly stay invested. IT sector may be looking very weak in the very near term, but I think it has very great prospects going forward. I mean, I think the world over technology boom is there to stay. The innovations are the way forward, and all those innovations need back office work and software development work, which large extent has to come to the Indian companies, especially these established companies. Wipro being one of them. Yes, over the last few years, even the results have been disappointing, but the company is very well managed, has great corporate governance standards, and ticks all the boxes for a good long-term investment opportunity right now. Has not done well for the last few years, but that actually is better for a long-term investor because he's getting in at a valuation which is far more reasonable. Also, there's a buyback from the company which at 445 rupees, which should be a further stimulus for the shareholder returns to improve going forward. So certainly stay invested. I think this is a very good stock. In fact, if you have money, you can buy more also at these levels.
Okay, Kunal, the next question is from Venugopal Reddy, and he wants to know any of your top bets right now, any two stocks that you like currently for a short-term period, maybe for the next 3 months.
Reliance is the first stock which you can consider. I think after that 2 days of strong uptake, the stock is showing signs of a potential major reversal on the upside. So I think that's one stock which you can definitely look to consider from a large cap space as well. Looking at the market construct, it would require a lot of these large cap stocks to start firing up. So maybe Reliance could be one of the stocks which can do that. From the other sector, I think DV Slab is something which you can consider buying. I think the stock is now trading closer to its swing breakout point of 35.50, 35.55. Also confirmed the breakout of its 200 moving average after a retest of that level. So would suggest a buy on DV Slab for a target of 37.50, 3800. Stop loss for this trade you can keep at 3,420.
All right, so that's the take coming in on GV's Laboratories. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. But remember, viewers, it's our 14th birthday tomorrow, and you can unlock a golden opportunity with ET Now. And on our 14th birthday, here's a gift for you. Participate in ET Now's Force of 14 contest and stand a chance to win 14 gold vouchers. On our 14th birthday, all you have to do is watch ET Now through the week and give a missed call on the number flashing on your screen and grab the golden chance.
And here's the third question of the day, wherein ET Now is the only Indian channel to interview which renowned investor at Omaha. First option is Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, George Soros or Ray Dalio. But with this, viewers, we'll slip into a very short break and be right back.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, and let's get going. Let's continue taking all of your stock related query. And as you can see on your screen, markets are at the day's lowest point, 78 points off the day's highest point. Let's take this query coming in from Rama, who's writing to us from Hyderabad. And Kunal, this one is for you. She wishes to buy a few shares from Adani Group, and she also wants to buy and hold them for a period of 4 to 5 years. She wants to know which one should she look to buy right now, or should she wait? Or also, a question from my side is, does it make sense to buy right now and think about the next 4 to 5 years in Adani Group of counters?
Well, yeah, why not? I think it could be a good proposition, provided you select the right set of stocks from the Adani pack. Now, I believe that Adani Ports as well as Ambuja Cement, these are the two names which have done reasonably well for themselves. And even in the last 3-4 months of price correction, then a recovery as well as a stability which has come back into these stocks have managed to stand out as compared to most of the other peers. So I believe that these are the two prominent names which you can consider. And if you are okay with a high beta set of stock, then I think maybe buying Adani Enterprise as well as Adani Wilmar could be could be the other two names which you can probably consider buying. So proportion higher capital towards Adani Ports as well as Ambuja Cements, and then the remainder which you can probably consider on Adani Enterprise as well as Wilmar.
Okay, moving on, and Kunal, the next question is from Rima, and she has put up a question on Uma Exports. I'm not sure whether you tracked this one or not, because this is a small cap company, but the stock has been doing fantastically well in the past 3 days. So will that be a buy at current market price is a question. And the other question is that if you suggest any small cap company that is on your radar currently, if at all.
No small cap company in my radar as of now, and I would consider to stay away from stocks like Uma Exports, which rally up from 45 to 70, 75 in just a matter of 3 odd days. These are the stocks which can look very neat and clean when these stocks get into a rally mode, when the market looks attractive. But with any whiff of a correction which can come back, these stocks are the ones where the correction also is very steep enough. So if you ask me, I would suggest to avoid these kind of names and stick towards quality mid caps or large caps.
Okay, this one is coming in from Satya, and this one is also for you, Kunal. He wants to know what's your bet: Jyoti Laboratories, Patanjali, or something else altogether for short-term gains?
Something else together. Jyoti Lab and Patanjali is not something which I would bet on it from a short-term play. I think if you're looking at a short-term bet, I would probably believe few of the names which I have highlighted earlier: PFC, L&T Finance, AB Capital, etc. looks attractive. If you're looking at from a breakout point of view, then I think Reliance at current levels of 25, 30, 35, 40 approximately on the spot looks attractive at current levels for a potential target of at least 150 to 200 points.
Okay, Ashish, the next question is from Sandeep, and he's holding 100 shares of Aditya Birla AMC from a price of 500 rupees. How is this share for long-term investing?
Long-term investing, I think AMC business set to grow, and I think this company has this Aditya Birla is one of the largest AMCs in India. So I see very interesting prospects, and also valuation-wise, relatively compared to its peers, it is better placed. So on the whole, I think a good idea to buy this and stay invested in the long run.
All right, moving on then, this one is coming from Vidya, writing to us from Bangalore. She has 220 shares of Birla Soft at the price of 504 rupees per share, sitting at a loss right now. She wants to know whether she should continue or look to exit and invest in Elecon Engineering altogether. Kunal, this strategy makes sense?
I would suggest to hold on to Birla Soft at current levels. Elecon also looks attractive at 580 plus mark, but then I think the stock has run up exceedingly high. So in terms of a risk reward and a potential outperformer, maybe there could be a chance that Birla Soft and the mid cap IT space, which looks attractive, much better as compared to the large cap IT stocks. So I think that looks attractive. I would suggest a hold.
Okay, that's a hold coming in on Birla Soft. But with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And Ashish, the first question is from Shankar, and he recently bought FACT at a price of 329 rupees. The stock has been showing good up move, but how is the short term looking like for this one?
I think it should be good, but I really can't understand why short term, this thing you will buy such a stock for the very short term.
Okay, Kunal, Sunny wants to know about Clean Science, 40 shares at the price of 1,410 rupees per share. How is it looking?
Continue to hold on.
Okay, Kunal, Rao has bought 30 shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank from a price of 1,972 rupees. Can he add more at current market price?
Would not suggest an add at current levels.
Okay, this one's from Rajendra from Bangalore. Bought Sun Pharma at 1,015 rupees per share. Should he hold, exit or buy something else for the short term or intraday, Kunal?
Hold on to Sun Pharma.
Okay, Kunal, TRR Rao from Hyderabad wants a short-term view on Symphony. He has 100 shares at a price of 1,007 rupees.
I'll suggest to average if it comes back closer to 880 mark.
Okay, Anant Naik from Bangalore wants to know whether he should go ahead and buy Concor right now, Ashish, or should he look at something else?
I think you can go ahead and buy from.
Okay, Ashish Priya from Bangalore wants to know outlook on Graphite India. Can she buy this counter for the next 3 to 5 years?
I don't think so. I think it's very cyclical. These things are very better opportunities to buy than Graphite India.
Okay, Kunal, Leon has BEL, which is he's in 15% profit. He had bought it around 100.5 rupees per share. What should he do? Book profits?
So if you're a short-term investor, then book profits at current levels and then look to buy back in case if it dips to 115 or lower.
Okay, Ashish Dhananjay has bought RCF over 600 shares at a price of 91 rupees. Is that a hold or sell?
That is certainly a hold. I think it will do very well even in the very near term.
Okay, this one's from Money from Chennai. Ashish, CDSL and CAMS showing weakness for the last few months. Are they a hold or a sell or buy right now?
They are certainly a buy for a long-term investor.
Okay, but with this, it's time's up on the rapid fire session as well as onto the Buy Now Sell Now show. Thank you so much, Kunal and Ashish, for taking our time and helping all our viewers resolving their stock-related queries. But with this, viewers, it's a goodbye from me and Cheryl and the entire team who put the show together. But before we go, you can unlock a golden opportunity with us. And on our 14th birthday, here's a gift for you where you can participate in ET Now's Force of 14 contest and stand a chance to win 14 gold vouchers. On our 14th birthday, all you have to do is to watch ET Now throughout the week and give us a missed call on 888 665 9273 and grab the golden gems.
And the third question of the day is, ET Now is the only Indian channel to interview which renowned investor at Omaha? And the options are flashing on your screen. All you got to do is give a missed call and answer the question correctly and stand a chance to win gold voucher.